Welcome back to another video in my natural makeup series. Today's video is going to be all about bronzing and contouring. What are the differences? What kind of products should you use? Do you need to do both of them? And just how to apply the product in the most natural way. If we haven't met, I'm Karina. I'm a makeup artist and my channel is focused all on natural and wearable makeup and just showing you how you can add a little bit more variety to your makeup routine while still looking natural and classy. So if you're into that kind of makeup, then definitely hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the video. So I'm going to start by explaining the difference between bronzing and contouring, and then I'll demo everything for you in just a little bit. So starting with bronzing. Bronzing doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It's a really fast and kind of easy way to just add a little bit of life and color to your skin. So when you're thinking about what's the difference between bronzing and contour, bronzing just adds color and life back into your skin when you look kind of flat or washed out from just putting your foundation on. And then contouring is more of a precise way to apply your makeup to create shape and dimension to your face. So starting with bronzing, typically you would apply it with like a bigger, fluffier face brush. This one is a duo fiber by MAC. And this one is actually my favorite bronzing brush. It's the JH02. It's nice and fluffy. It gets the job done super fast because it is big, but it still has a little bit of precision because it is that kind of ovoid or oval shape. When you apply your bronzer, you just want to think about where you would naturally get tanned first anyway, or where the sun would naturally hit your face. Bronzing products can be powders, they can be creams, they can have different finishes to them. So I'll just show you a few different examples. I have the Pro Fusion Bronzer by Makeup Forever and the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. And I'd probably use these the most. These ones have a little bit of like a luminosity to them, so you can see that they have that sheen when I kind of show you, or like when I twirl the product around. So it gives, in my opinion, more of a natural finish. It's not sparkly and there's no shimmer to it, but when you apply it to your skin, it kind of, the light kind of bounces off the product like it would on natural skin. So I love those because I have dry skin, so I like the product to have like a little bit more of like a glow to it. Of course, you can also use a matte bronzer too. This is the classic, like best-selling bronzer, the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit, and it's just a matte product. So maybe if you had a little bit more kind of oily or dewy skin, you would maybe opt for a matte product. And then you can also bronze with a cream product as well. This is the cream bronzer by Fenty Beauty called Macchiato. And cream products can be really, really beautiful and probably do give you the most natural finish because they really actually kind of sink or blend into your skin. But if I'm being honest, I typically opt for a powder because it's just so much faster to me. It just takes me way less time to quickly dip in with a big fluffy brush and add a little bit of life to my face than going in with a cream would. But I do use the cream when I'm feeling kind of extra dry and I really just don't want to use powder products, or if I'm going for just a very dewy kind of skin finish, then I'll use the cream as well. But I think for ease of use and for speed, the powders are the quickest and easiest product to use. The only other thing I wanted to touch on with bronzer is that typically a bronzer is going to be a little bit more of a warmer toned brown. So what that means is that there's just a little bit more of like an orange kind of tint or tone to the bronzing product. You don't obviously want it to be too orange on your face, but they do tend to be a little bit more warmer toned, whereas the contour products are going to be a little bit more cooler toned. Okay, so while your bronzers warm up your face and just add a little bit of life to it, your contour products are just added to precise areas of the face to shape and define your face. So you would only apply the product where you want that part of your face to recede. For example, you could contour the outer edge of your forehead right into your hairline to make your forehead appear a little bit smaller. You could contour your nose if you wanted it to appear a little bit smaller as well. You would contour the hollows of your cheeks to give you that kind of slimmer face appearance. So you're really kind of manipulating your face shape with contour. And because of that, you do not want to have more of a warm toned product. You're going to actually have more of a cool toned product, or kind of almost like a gray brown, because you're actually just trying to mimic an actual shadow falling onto your face. And with contour, you can use cream or powder as well. I've got a couple examples. This one is the Matchstix by Fenty Beauty in Mocha, and it's just a little bit more of kind of a neutral or cooler toned brown. And then my absolute favorite contour product is by Kevyn Aucoin, and it's called the Sculpting Powder. And it really is kind of like a gray brown and just does such a good job of creating the most natural shadow look. So I really like to use that in the hollows of my cheek to kind of make them appear a little bit more slim or like cut, if you know what I mean. And with contouring, typically your products are going to be all matte finishes, so you wouldn't have any shimmer or luminosity to them because you're not trying to make that product stand out. You don't want to see the product at all. You want to make people think that that's where an actual shadow is kind of falling on your face. So for contouring, you would use a smaller brush because you need a little bit more precision. So for example, there's a contour brush by Real Techniques I really like. It's small enough that it allows me to place the product in just a smaller area of the face, but it has enough give to it that it allows me to blend out the product as well, but in more of a precise manner. This is a duo fiber by MAC. You can see the size is just kind of small enough that it would fit right into the hollow of your cheek, but you can also use it on your forehead. I probably wouldn't use something this big on my nose, but jawline it would work for. And then this is another popular one. It's like the really flat kind of brush. This one's by NARS. The Hoola product that I showed you earlier actually comes with a really nice kind of contour shaped brush. And that one's really easy to just kind of carve out your cheekbone, and you could also use that forehead or jawline as well. And then if you're going to contour your nose, you would obviously pick something that is a lot smaller, and then you can do some more precision work around your nose. You don't have to contour your face at all. I kind of think as contouring as like an extra step. Not when I'm going out and doing clients. I will do a little bit of contouring on most people, but for myself, when I'm just doing my everyday makeup, I just throw some bronzer on and I'm good to go. Contouring, although you can get really quick at it, of course, it just takes a little bit more time. It's just kind of that extra step that's not really needed. I personally only contour when I'm going to like a special event, or sometimes even just like for more of an evening look and going out to dinner. But I wouldn't really contour my face in the daytime or very often, just because it does take a little bit more time. But if you are going to contour, then I would suggest doing your bronzer first and then doing your contour after, so that you're not messing up kind of all of that precise work that you put into the contour. But let's get into a demonstration so that you can just see what I mean. So now I'm going to demo both bronzing and contouring for you. I have my foundation and concealer, a little bit of powder on. My base is completely done, but obviously I look so flat and just kind of like lifeless. So I'm going to choose the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This one's called Deep Bronzer, and it does have just kind of like a luminous kind of finish to it. So all I do is just dip it in. I start with my forehead. And remember, you don't have to be as precise. So you're not going to create like a cut cheek. I just kind of put it all over my cheek and up into my temple. And then I just kind of start bringing it down my jawline. And then I always bring it down my neck as well. So I just like to kind of tie that all in together. And then you can already see like this side just looks still flat, and this side you're starting to get a little bit of warmth into the cheek area. And then you can just kind of build however much you want. And then whatever's left on my brush, sometimes I just kind of sweep it over my nose a little bit. Yeah, you can already see the life kind of starting to come back into my face. So using kind of a fatter brush that gives you really good blending capabilities, and just choosing a product that maybe has a little bit of a like life luminosity to it, I think that's kind of the most natural way you can bronze. And just making sure the product isn't too much on the orange side. You still want it to be kind of like a warmer toned brown, but just not too warm of a color. And then just something that's not too much darker than your skin tone. All of those things are going to help to make your bronzing look really natural. And you can see like my skin just has a little bit more life to it, but I haven't really done any like contouring, so I don't have any lines, harsh edges. So it's just a perfect everyday look. It's easy to do. Let's move on to contouring. So this is the Matchstix by Fenty Beauty in Mocha, and it is kind of more of that cool tone brown. And then I also have this sculpting powder in medium by Kevin Aquan. I've had this for years and years, and I actually just love this because it is just kind of that perfect shadow color. For contouring today, I think I'll choose the Matchstix for this demonstration. I just want to show you that you actually can kind of mix your powders and creams. It's not like the end of the world. It's not going to mess up all your makeup. Sometimes I do just kind of stick to all creams, but I'm going to contour with this and just show you that it can totally be done and it'll still have a very natural finish. Here's the thing about contouring. It's going to be completely different for every different face shape. So I'll just kind of do a quick demonstration so you can see what I mean. So I'll start with contouring my nose. I wouldn't personally take this product and just pop it right onto my face because I think I'll get way too much color. So I'm just going to take a smaller, kind of more precise brush. This is the JH35, and I'm just going to pick up a little product right on the brush. I think that my bridge is already pretty like slim right here, but then my nose starts to go out a little bit. So all I'm gonna do is kind of contour the tip of my nose a little bit. So just a little on the sides. And then maybe just right at the very bottom, the tip. My pet peeve with nose contour is that sometimes I'll see it on girls that they just don't blend it out properly, or they just don't blend it enough. So it's like line, line, highlight, and it's just not, it doesn't look natural. So that's the whole point of my natural video series. It's just about doing things in the most natural way possible. So that's all I'm gonna do on my nose. I don't really wanna go too heavy, but I don't really typically contour my nose anyway. Let's go ahead and move on to the forehead. So you can pick the product right off the bullet and then just kind of load up that way and then go in. The benefit to this is that I feel like it's a little bit less work with the blending because you're not trying to blend out like harsh lines on your face. And it just gives you a little bit more control with the amount of product. So you can start small and then kind of work your way up. But if you have a small forehead, there's no need to contour it. You could just bring a little bit of kind of product right up to the temple area so that it looks seamless with the rest of your bronzing and contouring. Just make sure you really go right into the hairline because you definitely don't want to have a gap between your makeup and then the hairline. And then we'll move on to our cheeks, and my goal is to kind of see how I already have this kind of natural hollow right here. I'm going to put the product right in there. The easiest rule is just start at the top of your ear and kind of work your way down that natural line. If you don't have a natural line, you're obviously just going to create one with the product. And that is, you want most of your product placement to be up high, and then you're going to kind of blend it out as you go. And you should be stopping about halfway. You don't want to bring a contour all the way around onto like the apples or anything like that, like you can with your bronzing when you just kind of cover the whole cheek area. Contour again is a little bit more precise, so just kind of keeping it to this area right here. Okay, so I'm going to take the bullet and I'm just going to put it right directly on my cheek this time just to kind of show you. And you're just going to create a small kind of line right from the top of the ear down, and I'm just going to keep it short because as I blend, I will blend it out this way, and I don't want to take it too far. So just start at the top and start blending along that line. And you can take it into some circular motions just to get the product to blend out a little bit. So you want to be left with not a harsh line across your face. Like already this looks a little bit too harsh to me, so I'm going to keep blending until you can't see a line structure, but so that when you turn your face, you have that shadow where it didn't really used to be as prominent. And you can see I have a shadow on this side, and when I turn my face, I still have kind of a natural drop there, but it's definitely not as pronounced. And then you can also do your jawline if you want. It's optional, obviously, but you can. So my natural jawline, I'm just gonna kind of place the product lightly and draw that natural kind of like, I don't know what you'd call that, sharp C shape. And I don't want to do it too heavy. I'll just kind of show you, I'll lean back. I don't want to put it on too heavy because I don't want there to be a thick line between my makeup and my neck. So I can just like quite lightly do this and staying kind of lower down, and then also kind of blending the bottom part down is also going to help to blend it into your neck. So you're just kind of creating a shadow there. And this just adds a little bit more definition to your face, especially if you have a rounder face, then you can kind of create a little bit more definition with that contour. So that's kind of what you end up with. Definitely way more life to my face because of the bronzer, and definitely a lot more shape because of the contouring. I still kind of want to go in with this product. I'm just going to take a duo fiber brush just because it's not going to pick up quite as much product. And I'm just going to go in a little bit with that sculpting powder, the Kevin Aucoin one, and kind of place it right on top of the cheek contour. I don't want it to look muddy either, but if I want a stronger contour, I just kind of think this one is more of like a natural shadow. The Mocha Matchstick has just a little bit of warmth to it, so I just wanted to kind of deepen my contour a little further. To me, this looks still pretty natural, so you don't have to go in with thick creams. Like, you know the videos I'm talking about on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, when girls are like caking on thick light cream products and then thick dark cream products, and then they take a brush and just blend it all out in one. Like, it kind of does give you a nice Instagram effect because it's more of like a heavy makeup application, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can still contour in a really natural way, and hopefully that kind of just shows you how you can. And it's really quick, I promise. It's just when I'm explaining, it takes so long to go through everything. So now from here, I would just add a little bit of blush, add a little bit of highlight, and you're good to go. I hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, I just like to give you tools to kind of learn how to apply your products in more of a natural way. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching my video. Subscribe to my channel if you do like more natural and wearable makeup looks. And stay tuned for my next video in my natural makeup series. We'll be moving on to cheeks, but I'm going to split the videos up into blush and then highlight. So there'll be 2 separate videos so I can go into a little bit more detail. So my next one will be all about blush, different types of blushes, creams versus powders, how to apply them, different blush placements, and just how to use them in the most natural way possible so that your product's really working for you and making you feel like the most beautiful version of yourself. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in my next one.